I saw a response to one of my videos where somebody said that, Kasim, you think that there is a justification for leaving kids because of how the adult who is responsible for them feels? They will just grow up thinking that they need to basically then go on to repeat those stereotypes. So I wanted to reply to this because it's really, really important, and it's a valid point actually. So let me start off by saying, look, when I read the name of the person who made this comment, they are a doctor. When you are somebody who is a doctor, in virtually whether you're going through academia or you're going to go and actually end up being something clinical, you have to do a lot of essays usually. And at some point, you'll have to do either a master's level or a doctorate level. You're going to have to do a dissertation. And when you do that dissertation, you will have to write about biases, about limitations. You'll have to write about what motivated you to do this research and all of these kinds of things. In my counseling practice, and I'm doing research at the moment on this subject at university, is what's called reflexivity. So, in other words, I have to apply and see and write about how am I biased in trying to find out. So, for example, being a man, clearly I'm much more biased than somebody who's a woman, right? And the reason why I'm saying all of this is really to say that, look, the average person does not think about, the average male father does not think about his decisions. He does not think about the consequences of his actions, mainly because many people are struggling. I think a lot of people who are doing well in their lives and who have been brought up in privilege or who themselves have struggled tend to think that just because that they've applied certain things and certain principles and what they've done, the path that they followed has allowed them to be able to succeed, they automatically assume that everybody else is going to be able to do it. And I can tell you that because I used to work in a school and I used to, of course, I went from a lot of very difficult childhood and life, and I went on to change a lot of my life. And I tried to share with kids the same principles that I'd learned, and some kids would take it up and some wouldn't. And I got really frustrated, and I was like, that's not right. But the reality that I learned very quickly is that people are not the same. A lot of men don't think these things through. They don't even a lot of the time realize quite the damage that they've caused. And sometimes they have epiphanies or they meet somebody or they hear a conversation and they're like, oh, I had no idea. Oh, I didn't think it was that bad. How many of us tell our parents our experience of what it was like being raised by them and they invalidate it?